All right, it's official. Manchester United have finally announced the plans for the new stadium, which they're calling it the New Theatre. But we're yet to see what they're officially going to call it. But before I get into it, I want to read this quote from Sir Alex Ferguson because it speaks greatly to what I want to say next. Old Trafford holds so many special memories for me personally, but we must be brave and seize this opportunity to build a new home, fit for the future where new history can be made. Welcome back to another episode of the Glory Reds. And you know what? Before I even read this quote, right? Before we got this official announcement of the new Theatre of Dreams, I was thinking to myself, Manchester United, Old Trafford, has built so much history over its lifespan. All right. Now, obviously, mistakes were made. We didn't maintain the stadium enough. It is completely dilapidated. It has literally got to the point where we can't even fix it anymore. All right. And as much as us, the fans, want to keep that ground forever, it's just not going to happen. All right. We left it too late. Not we, but the Glazers, they left it too late. I think they only did like 1 or 2 renovations since they took over from the club, and they haven't touched it ever since. Now, Ferguson says, look, it's going to be scary, right? We need to be brave and we need to seize this opportunity. And I 100% agree with his sentiments because Old Trafford, right? And it reminds me of this line, okay? It's from The Dark Knight, from Batman. And also Jay-Z uses it in one of his verses in the track I'm So Appalled, if any of you guys know about it. And the line basically goes, you either die now or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And just to break it down, all right, when you say you either die now you're looking at Old Trafford, right? You either die now a hero. Old Trafford has built so much of a name for itself. Manchester United has built so much of a big name for itself. Massive victories, Ferguson era, Sir Matt Busby era, Bobby Charlton, Dennis Law, George Best, all the way up into the Roy Keane era, Cantona, Ronaldo, Beckham. The history speaks for itself. All right. Old Trafford used to be a ground where oppositions would come and fear. They would fear us. It struck, a nerve. It made people so intense. It made oppositions feel so scared to come to that ground because they knew we were so ruthless. All right. It used to stand for something. It used to be this heroic place for United players to go there and shine and be the hero. But now, over time, Old Trafford has become a joke. It really has. It's no longer that theatre of dreams that we grew up watching this club thrive at. It's now become this place that you just hate, having to witness all these teams come and run circles around us. So when you go back to that line, right, either die now or live long enough to see yourself become a villain, we have literally come to that phase where Old Trafford has become a villain for us. It's become a place of, heartache, right? It's no longer our sanctuary. It's no longer our fortress of solitude because anyone can just come in there and do anything that they want to do. So in light of us, in light of this, with the plans for the new stadium and everything like that, I say let's leave Old Trafford the way it was, right? Let's leave it. Let's not force things. It has done its part. It's played its part. It's built such a strong history for itself, for the fan base. Let it die hero. Let it die hero, and let us not watch it become a villain in this space. All right. So that's the first thing I wanted to speak about. The second thing I want to speak about is I know a lot of people right now are emotional. All right. A lot of people are not up for this, right? They say Old Trafford is our home. You can't demolish it. I don't know if they're going to demolish it because as far as I know, all right, the new stadium is being built right next to Old Trafford. I don't know what the current plans for the old stadium are going to be. It would be nice if they could still refurbish it in some sort of a way if they could, and use it maybe as a ground for maybe the women's football team. maybe for training, for the academy players to play. But it would be nice if, they kept it around and it was still utilized in a footballing sense. But the truth of the matter is, like I mentioned, this club was not maintained, right? And for some of you who own cars out there, you know what happens if you do not maintain a car over time. If you do not take it for its annual service or its 50,000 K service or whatever, you know what happens at the end of the day. By the time it reaches a certain mileage, there's nothing you can do anymore for that car but completely write it off. And that's how it seems right now with Old Trafford. Like, we literally need to get something brand new for the future. Some people like the design, some people don't like it. Honestly, my feelings towards it are a bit mixed, right? I like how it's innovative. I like how it's new. I like how it's different. I know some people have got some remarks about the three poles, right, that symbolize the triton of the Manchester United badge. I thought that was a clever thought. I thought that was a nice gesture, a nice nod to our badge, to our logo, which, in good spirits, it could be one of those future things that is going to be like a mark for us. It's going to be like our thing that, when the opposition team are coming to Manchester United, they're already visited by the three tritons and they know it's going to be trouble. It could be a symbol, our new symbol of hope, our bat signal, our bat call, whatever. You know what I mean? And it could be a cool thing. So, they're going to build the stadium. It seems like 5 years is the plan. I don't know how they're going to get it done in 5 years, because just looking at the whole plans regarding that whole area, because it's going to be the stadium, it's going to be, the housing and stuff, and the entertainment areas and all of this and all of that. All right. So I don't know when they're going to find time, how they're going to execute it, how long it's going to take. And you know how bad the weather is in the UK, which does affect construction, right? I don't know how they're going to pull this off. I'm not into architecture and stuff like that. I don't know if it is even possible to get it done in 5 years, but if it is, all well and good, right? So back to my point at the beginning, I think it's a good thing to leave the era behind, right? And not to say that we must accept that United will never be a great team again, or, forget about our history or whatever. I'm not saying that, but let's work towards something new. Let's build a new history. Let's make a new history for Manchester United, and let's save the integrity of Old Trafford. Let us let Old Trafford die a hero rather than letting it live long enough to be a villain. But yeah, guys, that's all I wanted to say. More news definitely is going to come out regarding the stadium, in terms of how I know a lot of people have, these are questions, and it's so weird because these are questions we never used to ask ourselves, but this club has become so bad that we talk about a lot of stuff outside of the pitch, and we're more invested in like all the intricate stuff that happens at the club. And one of the funny things that really caught my attention is a lot of people are actually interested. How is this club going to be funded? And I totally get it, because these guys have been coming out and saying we've got no money. We've got no money to buy players. Sir Jim on the overlap was, spitting out numbers, 86 million or something like that. We need to pay for these players. That's the wage bill that we need to pay for these players. United was supposed to go under in 2025 or whatever, and like, okay, cool, but now you've got this $1 billion stadium that you want to fund. Where is this money coming from? So that's going to be interesting to know about it. I do know, or I did hear, that part of it is going to be funded by the government, because it is going to sort of contribute to the economy and the GDP and all that technical business stuff. So we're yet to see what's going to happen. But for now, it's confirmed. We're getting a new stadium. I know it's a distraction from what's happening from the pitch. But you guys, let me know. What do you guys think about the new stadium plans? Are you happy about it? Put emotions aside, all right? And tell me, what are your thoughts on the design? Are you happy about it? I know some of you guys haven't visited Old Trafford yet. Personally, myself, I haven't. I'm trying to see if I can go for a game by the end of the season, fingers crossed, before the construction actually begins. I don't think they've mentioned exactly when construction will begin on the stadium, but if they're saying 5 years, my assumption is they're probably going to start during the summer, right? So after the season ends, they're probably going to start what you call it, starting construction or start building whatever around the stadium. I don't know how that's going to impact in terms of the matches next season, right? I'm assuming we're still going to be playing at the ground because they're building right next to it. But in terms of visitors coming and stuff like that and whatever, I don't know if construction will need to be paused when that match is happening. It's all a bit confusing, all right. But we're definitely going to be having more information about that when the time comes. But other than that, thank you guys for listening to another episode on the Glory Reds channel, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.